session. We've got a jam-packed session and our speakers are going to speak for a long time. So can we get started and welcome everybody? So hello and welcome everybody to today's JDEdwards Forum. My name is Deirdre Joubert and I'll be your host for today. Thank you for joining us. It is a pleasure to share the exciting new features and enhancements in JDEdwards Release 25 with you. Today serves as another strong testament to JDEdwards as a product and to Oracle's ongoing commitment to continuous improvement and modernization. Year after year, Oracle continues to deliver new features and functionality, and Release 25 is no exception. We are also pleased to share that Oracle has reaffirmed their commitment with an extension of Premier support now available through to 2036. Release 25 was made available in October of 2024, with a subsequent update released in April of 2025. Our agenda today is to explore as much as possible of what was announced in Release 25. Sarah Saman will start by unpacking the JDEdwards Release 25 highlights, and Warwick Dromgoole will showcase one of the exciting new features, namely widgets. Rian van der Bank and Akona Mahono will discuss the importance of staying code current and how to achieve it. Warwick Dromgoole will showcase enterprise automation for manufacturing, and he will introduce the process modeler that was made available in Release 25. Warren Solomons will demonstrate how AI services integrate with JDEdwards, and finally, Jean-Jacques Duplessis will discuss and demonstrate how Microsoft Teams can be used as a platform for JDEdwards purchase order approvals. Just a few housekeeping notes. The session is being recorded and we will share the recording and presentation slides with you after the event. The session will run for approximately 2 hours and our presenters will remain online after the session to answer any questions. However, please feel free to submit your questions, comments, recommendations, or wish lists at any time using the Q&A or chat box. We will do our best to address them during the session. For any questions we don't get to during the session, we will follow up with answers via email after the session. With that said, let's dive in, and I'm going to hand over to Sarah Saman to get us started.
Great. Thank you, Deirdre. Good day to you all. My name is Sarah, and I will be taking you through the Release 25 highlights, which have just been made available. Please have a look at the pertinent phrase on this slide. It's enterprise automation. The primary objective of enterprise automation is to view the entire process holistically. So that's what we're trying to achieve. What has been released from October 2024 in terms of procurement, we have enterprise automation for procure to pay integrated with warehousing. We also have two-way voucher match automation. This was already showcased in our previous forum. We have the newly released process modeler for purchase order process, which we will be showcasing today. If we have a look at sales, again, more enterprise automation for order to cash integrated with warehousing. From a finance perspective, in accounts receivable, you now have the ability to assign delinquency fees to the business unit of the invoice. And also within the GL, there is an increased range of account IDs for larger businesses. In the manufacturing module, we have enterprise automation being production order to cost update, which we will also be showcasing today. If we look at the brand new released in April 2025, if we look at procurement, there is now a prompt for environment login for the purchase order approval mobile app. I think this is quite self-explanatory. You can choose an environment when you log in. We have more enterprise automation for the procure-to-pay model with the connected processes. What this means is the procurement process starts with requisitions that convert into purchase orders. This now links the purchase order to the requisition. You can drill down to the purchase order from the requisition. For sales, we have the newly released process modeler for the sales order process, which we will also be showcasing today. And for capital asset management, CAM, maintenance and service work order ledger can now be enabled. You can now access a comprehensive history of all changes made to maintenance and service work orders through the Work Order Master Ledger. Okay, so if we have a look at digital transformation, which has now been released from October 2024, what you will see on this slide, most of the enhancements had to do with orchestrations in terms of returning values, inputs and outputs, calling orchestrations from listing variables, and also enhanced functionality for E1 pages for text and images. If we have a look at what's been released in April 2025, the first one on the list is augmenting JDEdwards Enterprise One with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Services. This has to do with AI and is very exciting, and we will be showcasing this today. If we have a look at My Tasks, this feature provides two enhancements. Number one, orchestration messages can be delivered now to a notification list. Number two, messages with tracked tasks are easily identified so that the recipients will be aware of the tasks that they need to complete. The next two have got to do with comparative criteria. So this has got to do with the form exits, data requests, service requests, logic extensions. So it extends over a large range, also with queries and watch lists. So this functionality for comparative criteria is amazing and allows for the data comparisons between two sets of mapped data items. For example, you could create a query for requested date greater than promised delivery date. So with these types of comparisons, it transforms your data into relevant information with no manual comparison or manipulation needed. We also have watch lists on Enterprise One page connectors. What this is, this feature is used for the adjacent steps in a business process. For example, you will be able to measure the number of transactions that are queued or are moving from one step to another. Also, you can restrict file access to the AIS temporary directory. For orchestrations that exchange files via FTP or REST connectors, it adds a layer of security and control over the location in which files are temporarily stored. We also have passing an application version as a variable in message links. So therefore, within a message link, the application version can be made variable rather than hard-coded as before. And then the last one on the list is enterprise widgets. This expands the concept of one view watch list by allowing the source of data to come from orchestrations and or logic extension outputs. Therefore, we can create aggregations and calculations over data beyond record count to show valuable information. Right, so the next item I will be discussing is JDEdwards Sustainability Framework. So sustainability is becoming a key focus area globally, as we realize we need to reduce our carbon footprint. All businesses within different industries are able to utilize JDEdwards to capture their environmental data. Just to note, the old environmental accounting module has been made redundant, and now JDE has developed a sustainability activity ledger to house all of the data for reporting. This module is stock standard within JDEdwards and is free of charge. We have three pillars of sustainability: environmental, social, and governance. JDEdwards focuses on the environmental part. We have scope 1, 2, and 3, which are categories of greenhouse gases and their emissions, and organizations need to report on this. Scope 1 would be direct emissions from owned or controlled resources. Scope 2, indirect from purchased electricity, etc. Scope 3 is other indirect emissions from your supply chain, business travel, etc. Okay, so if we have a look at the sustainability framework roadmap, what we have is scope 1 has already been released for JDEdwards, and this is the sustainability foundation. Data can be captured via standard voucher or voucher match within JDEdwards. There's also approvals via workflow, and we have activity sources, and all of this is for auditability, and there's a history within the activity ledger. And this has also got integrations into EPM in terms of the reporting and carbon calculations. So scope 2 is planned and not yet released. Scope 1 for assets, same thing. It's planned, not yet released. And all the rest of the backlog for all the other scopes is now being researched and will be released at a later date. Right. So if we have a look at the sustainability framework architecture, let's look at the blue block inside this slide. JDEdwards provides the sustainability foundation by creating reference data that can be captured from standard JDEdwards applications. The data is stored as activity data in the sustainability activity ledger. You also have the ability to capture or modify the data within this ledger. And there's also pre-built import and export functionality available. The JDEdwards digital platform enables you to integrate into any analysis tool for reporting and/or carbon emission calculations. These carbon calculations may vary from country to country and industry. JDEdwards can integrate seamlessly with Oracle EPM, which enables carbon calculations for analysis and reporting. So thank you. That's a short summary of JDEdwards sustainability. As you can see from what I've presented, there are so many enhancements, updates, and improvements. I'm now going to hand over to Warwick to showcase the newly released widgets.
Hi everyone, I'm Warwick Drumgour, and I'll be showing you how we have used widgets on our Resolve Red Quick Close page. This page provides a visualization of your current status of your data through the use of watch lists and widgets. On this page, you'll have all your integrities as well as watch lists and widgets to provide you with a quick view of how your data is looking. This will give you insight into where you need to focus on, especially with regards to your month-end activities. You use the orchestrator to fetch the data you would like to display, even data from outside your ERP system. You create the orchestrator and then link that orchestrator to a widget, and then you're able to display the widget on the glass or on your page. There are 4 types of widgets. You could have a badge widget, and that can display information in numeric or text format. If I look on the left-hand side of my screen, I've got Parts Emporium displaying as a widget, and this is the supplier that has the highest open amount balance from an AP perspective. Next to it, the supplier, which is Parts Emporium, has an open balance of 2.81 million, and that is a numeric badge that you can display on your page. Moving to the right, what we have done is we have used a meter widget to look at the differences in balances between your module and your general ledger. So if I look at my AP open amount, I've got a metered badge here showing what the value is from an AP perspective. And then I've got the GL balance next to it. Got your GRNV open amount. That's very similar to how your report is. It's pulling that data from your 43121, and that compares that to your GL balance. Got your AR open amount and your AR GL balance. And what we've done is we've also looked at sales invoices that have not been updated. And we've also got these sales invoices that have not been updated from a cost perspective. This will help you with your inventory recon, as this will not reflect in your GL at this moment in time. On the left-hand side, I have got a widget, which is a meter widget, which is fetching information from an external source. So we connect to an external API to give you the rand-dollar exchange rate, and that can be displayed on the page. Below that, I have got the temperature in Denver, which is also going to go and fetch from an external API. Next to this, we've got a text box. So you can go and bring text from your system or from an external system, and you can display it on your page as a text widget. And this information is showing you what the forecast is for Denver. The widgets are very similar to watch lists. With watch lists, you go and create a query, and it actually goes and does a count on the record. But with the widgets, you can display the value. As Sarah mentioned, you can display the aggregated value. And as they work similar to watch lists, you can attach them to the tiles. So you can attach, if I'm looking at this 146K on your supplier payment inquiry, that is your payments that are not posted, and you can display it as a value. From release 24, you are able to go and add 4 watch lists to a tile. So I have added that to this, and you can go and add multiple watch lists and widgets to tiles. With the introduction of release 25, you can also go and add your widgets and watch lists to your connectors. So I have added a watch list to this connector. So you've got lots of space to actually go and add different watch lists and widgets. Sarah also highlighted the fact about comparative queries. So I'm going to go and look at my open due date versus my invoice date. And with this new functionality, I can now display all my due date information where my due date is less than the invoice date. If I just click down here, you can see that you have now got a column where you can compare it to a different field, which is quite handy in when you're wanting to analyze 2 different fields against each other. I am now going to hand over to Rian, who is going to take you through the code current.